My ex broke up with me. Now she wants me back. Am I wrong to consider it? Me, male 28, and my ex, female 26, broke up 25th of October, 2023, after dating for nearly 2 years. We're the kind of people who share very intense emotions, from passion and love to frustration and hurt. And we both carry some emotional luggage and trauma from the past. Our relationship was full of surprises, love, frustration, patience, miscommunication, and emotions. It was far from an easy relationship, which probably doesn't exist anyway, but I can also confidently say that I have never loved a woman and a partner more than her in my life, which made it all worth it regardless. We broke up because we had been fighting for months over things that didn't matter to any of us, mostly due to communication or lack thereof. I think it's fair to say we communicate different. I can be very direct and confrontational, wanting to solve any issue as soon as it presents itself or shortly after. She wants more space and time to reflect, to then come back to the issue at hand and address it a day or two later. We caused each other a lot of frustration when we didn't seek compromises in this regard. She had also been dealing with a lot of stress from work, family-related issues, lacking a feeling of belonging, feeling too bound up by everyday life, and lacking a sense of meaning. At the same time, I had been dealing with a lot of stress from not finding a job and losing family members. Her way of dealing with heavy and difficult things is to suppress them, push herself, and avoid situations of conflict. My way of dealing with difficult and heavy things is to overcommunicate, procrastinate, and push myself. We both had been incredibly patient with each other many times, but at some point, she started giving up. It wasn't a rapid or hasted decision, it just gradually got worse. And I could feel her giving up on us more and more each day. Struggling to accept defeat, I kept trying and trying, but she was convinced this needed to end. She ended it by saying she cannot be sure that she wants to be with me at the current time. She also said if she had been doing better mentally, she thinks I could be a very good fit match for her. But she couldn't go through more days of feeling unhappy due to a worry of constant conflicting opinions. She needed space not just from me, but from everything a bit. We ended things, but didn't cut ties right away. After relying so much on each other, it only felt natural to keep including each other in our daily lives from time to time. We even met up a few times as friends, but I struggled immensely with this, wishing she'd take me back. She seemed to have moved on, while I was going through hell, making me feel stupid and pathetic. What I didn't know is that she had just suppressed her emotions until later. I tried to move on, but struggled to think of anyone else, as I kept seeing her as the perfect woman and partner, despite the issues we had. After a few months, I started doing better and feeling more alive. Not great, just more human, less destroyed with a bit more spirit. She, on the other hand, started spiraling down after seeing a therapist. It was incredibly helpful for her, but she started changing her mind about me, feeling like she had made a mistake ending things, wanting to give things another try, saying that I am someone she wants to grow and develop with, and that she thinks she was behaving toxic and unfair towards me, saying the issue have been lying more with her than with me. We've been completely open with each other about what's been happening whilst not being a couple. I have slept with 2 women, one of which I'm currently seeing on a weekly basis. She has kissed and been intimate with 5 guys, 2 of which has caused troubles earlier in the relationship. I am completely unsure of what to do now. The effort that we both put into the relationship felt like every bit that we had. It feels like we really tried in every meaning of the word. People around me keep telling me that getting back with exes is never good, due to increased chances of frustration with the partner and, of course, lack of trust. Yet, I can't close my eyes or my mind to the woman and partner whom I loved more than anyone. We have undeniable chemistry, But is love really enough? I can't sleep as I'm tormented by thoughts of her with 5 other men whilst being single. I don't know if it matters. She started seeing these men 3 weeks after we broke up, after nearly 2 years. I'm no better, though, meeting 2 women after only 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but neither is she. But she's willing to give it a try. She is waiting for me to decide if I'm willing. Am I in the wrong for being more jealous of her 5 guys and thinking that if we get back together, I'm inevitably going to have my heart broken? Hope this all somehow made sense. It's my first time putting my thoughts into words like this on a Reddit page, and English is my second language, so please bear with me. All feedback is valuable and useful at this point, so please criticize and comment on anything. Update: I'm overwhelmed by the immense and wonderful support and insight you all have provided me with, and also for the chuckles some of you provided with other comments. I greatly appreciate all the help, and I was most definitely feeling weak and fragile in the moment of posting this post in the first place. I was unsure of what to do until early afternoon yesterday. I realized I've romanticized the whole idea of our relationship, focusing more on the good times than the actual hardships and difficulties that lead us to the breakup in general. I'm also not at the best place mentally, not in a worrying way by any means, but in a way where I think being single and not seeking validation through others is the right thing for me right now. There was also not a good foundation, seeing how I was not able to get past what she did whilst being single and bringing potential resentment into an already suffering and fragile relationship. She is by no means a fool for suggesting what she did, but I feel like I'm convinced now that not getting back together is the healthiest thing for both of us right now. I did talk about couples counseling a few times at the time we were dating, but she meant it was the wrong use of our money. We both did not have that much money going for us. I met up with my ex yesterday. We didn't see each long. She had a bad gut feeling before I even broke the silence. I told her I can never get back together with her, but I wished her well. I half expected her to ask my why, but she didn't. She seemed sad and hurt, and so was I. We hugged and parted ways without exchanging many words. I should have left it at that, but I didn't. It felt strangling to not tell her why, not to cause her more stress or pain, but for me to not leave her imagination up to things, to have put things in my words, bringing insight as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. I sent that text today. I believe it was well written. She might be angry, upset, or frustrated. She might appreciate knowing why I, this time around, am giving up on her. I don't know. I'm waiting for a reply. Thanks again for hearing me out. You guys are wonderful to comment and guide me through this time. Let's see the comments. It's not the fact that it's 5 guys. It's the 2 guys that were already known issues in your relationship. If you were to get back together, this would continue to be an issue, but now it's a larger issue. From the sounds of it, it won't be something you can get past, and is something that will sit at the back of your mind and be thrown out in an argument, causing major damage to the relationship down the line. Honestly, it sounds like she messed around and found out the grass isn't greener and now wants you back because you are safe ground for her. This 100%, especially if she's still in contact with any of the guys she was with, but especially the 2 that were problems before. I know that some people jump back into dating and intimacy to cope with the loss of a relationship. However, it's a pretty bold move to play the field and then go back to the guy you dumped, because you essentially wanted to test out other options. If you read between the lines, that's why she broke up with OP, by the way. She just used prettier words. OP, don't be the fallback guy. You deserve better. ETA. Look back at the timeline. If she really did wait 3 weeks before dating, that's 5 guys in less than 3 months. Holy crap. She was working hard on something and it wasn't self-reflection, or at least not as much as she's trying to sell you. No way I'd go back there, OP. Huge mistake. Her hitting up those 2 guys immediately should be the biggest red flag she could possibly wave. Start over fresh No way this works out in the long run. Up until that last bit about the five guys, I was all with you for trying again. If it had just been about different communication styles, couples counseling could probably have helped you immensely, preferably back in 2023 before you even broke up. But her going right ahead to bang all the guys you had been insecure about slash having issues with, nah, that would seal the deal for me. I'd be done, especially if she wanted to still stay friends with them. Let's see another story. My 37 male, ex-wife, 33 female, abandoned me and kids early in 2023. Now she is begging to come back. Title sums it up. Ex-wife left her family for a drug-dealing trash of a man. Said she wanted to be free and have fun. Being a mom wasn't her style anymore. Nobody saw it coming. We had a pretty vanilla and stable relationship. She had an affair for a while before abruptly leaving us. Basically, once the guy kicked out his crippled wife, he moved my ex-wife in immediately. She's hit rock bottom since then. Drained her savings, ruined her credit, tanked her credit score, lost her job, pissed off all her friends and family. Now she is suddenly saying she should have never left. Her place is with us, her true family. She always loved me, was just infatuated with him, etc. I want to say that as a couple, we never fought, got along well. I think I was just becoming boring or something. The spark was lost, and instead of coming to me, she pretended to be okay. Eventually decided she'd have an affair to get it out of her system, and eventually fell in love with the guy. How do I let go of her? I am fighting every fiber of my being, resisting every urge to tell her to come home. I know it's a bad idea, but I need some outside advice. People who don't have a horse in this race. I feel like I won't ever find anyone who's willing to love those kids like a mother. But then I realize their own mother abandoned them. Edit. I have full custody. She takes kids to school for me. That's only time she sees them, and her car could break down at any time. We are divorced. Edit 2. Some folks have said this never happened. I'm tempted to upload some screenshots of messages. This is all true, but to everyone who is being supportive and offering great advice, thank you so much. I'm going to refuse to take her back. You're all right. It's a horrible idea. Edit 3. Why do I let her take them to school? I've already laid down the law that her BF is never to be around them. The kids want to see her, and in the mornings I'm tied up with work. It's not ideal, but we've been doing this a while now. Edit 4. As far as I know, her BF only deals in weed. Take that for what you will. I just blocked her on every platform and her family too, because some of thee have been calling me trying to talk me into taking her back. Every one of you all are right. The woman I love is a fantasy at this point. I've got a version of her constructed in my head that's based on the past. I've got to see her for who she is now, and she isn't a suitable partner, mother, or even friend. I'm going no contact. If she needs to send me a message, she has to go through my dad, who will relay it to me, and only if it's kid related. Let's see comments. She abandoned not only you, but her kids. You let her come back. How long will it be before she leaves again? Never mind how that will affect you. Think about your kids. How much more it will damage their mental and emotional health. Besides, she doesn't really love you. She is only wanting to come back because she needs money and a place to stay. Was she on drugs? Is she still? Do you want that around your kids? OP, far as I know, she's still with him in his mom's house. But you're right. I'm thinking with my heart and not my head. My first question to her would be, how much money do you need? Her answer to that will tell you everything you need to know. As it seems pretty obvious that she's broke, her partner is probably broke, and she thinks that by pulling on your heartstrings and saying she wants back in, she can get access to your money. No, wrong way of thinking. Her partner is a drug dealer. Drugs are expensive. Watch her financials. He has made her addicted. They have burned through her money. Probably he is an addict as well as a drug dealer. It often goes together. and now she need more money to get her drugs. So she is trying idiot X, harping on his feelings and their children and his dreams about what their life once was, which never had held any reality as she had an ongoing affair with that drug dealer already. Let's see another story. It's final, but she's begging me to come back. I don't want to be mean, but I feel like I have to. Every favor, however reluctant or partially done, gives her hope. The message isn't coming across. Sock Day was about 2 weeks ago. Her, look, I'm not manipulating you in saying this. I promise it is up to you, but I feel the spirits say that all you need to do is repent and we can be together again. Financially, it would be better for the kids and both of us. I know the interest rate is sky high. I could just stay a lunch lady at school. Of course, repentance is a difficult and a process, so I wouldn't expect immediate perfection. I want to stay a lunch lady, but not with my finances alone. Because it's not enough money, but I want to be there for my kids. Me in my head. You forget that it was me that filed, not you. I've told you that the issue is that you're abusive and off your rocker, but you've refused to accept that as my reasoning and instead created a fairy tale in your head that it was you who left me because of my faults. Me IRL, meme image of no. Her, why? Because you are afraid of what others might think? Or because you don't know how to repent? For one thing, you divorcing me over finally getting to know who I am, 13 years into the marriage, doesn't cut God's line for justified divorce. The only reason for divorce was because you treated me as though I am only a physical body. That's why God condoned it. I've already done my personal work. I am what you deserve. Me. Meme image. Stop it. Her. Ha ha. You don't know what makes a human a human. You think people can't change, but I believe in the atonement of Christ. Christ would never say, I don't think about you at all. That's not Christ-like. Me in my head. Yeah, let's talk about Christ-like. There are a bunch of incidents I can think of. How about the one where you went to jail? How about the one where you pulled the blanket off my bed in the middle of the night and angrily, mockingly rubbed my phone against my crotch while yelling at me about how much I love video games? Herter, you wouldn't even have to tell anybody if we tried a marriage again. It would be shared bills. I would still work. I can be respectful. If I accidentally revert, all I would need is a reminder. Old habits. Me IRL. I know it can be hard to move on, but for your own sake, you need to. Her, why? You don't think you can be what I need? I would have no expectations. Only thing I want is someone to allow me to have my own opinion. Me in my head. You really don't get this at all. This is not about me being what you need. This is about you having been an abusive nutter, and your own opinion is that FBI ninjas live in your attic and spray you with chemicals as part of a conspiracy to make COVID-19 seem worse than it actually is. Me IRL. I've already said no. Her. God wouldn't tell somebody who made a covenant not to change and try again. He wouldn't do that. Love is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Nobody can force you to love, and nobody can force you to be happy. Of course, nobody can force you to change either. The separation made me a better person. I promise I would not rehash everything you did wrong. The spirit whispers this is what let go meant. Thanks for letting me vent here. Let's see the comments. OMG, this person is nuts. Glad you escaped OP. Live long and prosper. Friend. Set hard limits. If it's not about kids, then no response. OP. She is not being rational, and every word you respond with feeds her need for attention. Politely ask her to move to the Family Wizard app and only reply in 7 words or less to anything she sends if it requires a reply. X. Blah, 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 back together. Blah, blah, you silence X, blah, 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 pick up the kids at 7. Friday for weekend, I can come along, blah, blah, you. We'll pick up just the kids at 7 p.m. your place. Okay. X, you don't care. What about me? Family, blah, blah, might as well drown myself. You, silence. X, You there? You. Silence. Night before pickup. We'll be there at 7 p.m. tomorrow for kids. They'll need their bathing suits. Start Gray rocking her like this, and once she realizes she's not getting attention, she'll move on to being a pain some other way or to someone else.